Hey guys, what's up? Shade here, and today I will actually be doing a review of a game called Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. Now, this game takes place um, probably about 50 years or so before the events of Lord of the Rings. Now, you play as ranger from the Black Gate called Talion. Now, with the footage you're seeing here is the first cutscene of the game, and you'll actually be seeing the first mission as well as the tutorial missions um, at the beginning as well. So you'll see after the cutscene tutorials and stuff like that. So, with this game, again, you play as Talion, a ranger from the Black Gate, who, as you can see right now, woke up in the Wraith world, or, when Frodo or Bilbo puts on the ring, they see this, which is basically the same thing, except you don't turn invisible, sadly, in this. But now, going through this game is actually really fun. I recently played through it a second time, and I've put over 110 hours into this game. So it's a long-term investment, but it's very worth it. This I actually got this a few months ago, September, I believe I got it. But this game is from 2014. So I'm 6 years too late, but better late than never. Also, sorry for the frame rate drops in the gameplay footage that you get, because usually this game plays like butter, It's exactly like the cutscenes, but for some reason when recording, frame rate for all games just drops. I don't know why, but yeah. So, yeah, sorry for the frame rate drops, but going through the tutorial levels, well, missions, sorry, are actually quite fun, because later you'll see me go through the first tutorial mission about hunting down captains, which in that you hunt down a captain called Gimub the Slaver, which you'll later find out about in a few minutes, because it's in my footage. But yeah, this game is it's very good. If you are thinking about getting this, or if you're basically just a Lord of the Rings fan like I am, because Lord of the Rings is awesome, then get this game. It's definitely a good game, but it is not for the faint of heart. There are a bunch of gory animations, which I do not show you really in this, but there's a skill that you get later in the game called Brutalize, but and it's pretty self-explanatory. You just kind of stab the orc a bunch of times, and that builds up your hit streak, so you can get an execution, which is even gorier. So yeah. But otherwise, this is a really good game. It has stealth mechanics, even though you don't really need stealth, and this game isn't really centered around stealth at all. But stealth is definitely a welcome addition to the game, and it's a good mechanic really in any game. But Shadow of Mordor takes a bunch of assets from well-known games like the Batman Arkham series and Assassin's Creed, and it basically puts them together really well, because it's got good story, it's in an amazing universe, it's got a combat system like the Batman Arkham games, and it has stealth and traversal mechanics from Assassin's Creed. So this is pretty much just the best of both worlds in this case, because the combat from the Batman Arkham games was critically acclaimed and was really good. But also the stealth and traversal mechanics from Assassin's Creed are also very good, because those are actually what has kept what's kept the series running, is because of its good mechanics and all around just great storytelling in historical places. But the Batman Arkham games are actually, in different reviews, have said to make you feel like Batman, which I agree with, because it definitely seems like combat that would be in not just the games themselves, but actually in the movies, or comic books, which is even better, because comic books spawned all this. They spawned the movies and the games. But back on the subject of Shadow of Mordor, it basically marries the best of both worlds together in an amazing way that makes the game both fun and almost never lose its entertainment value. It will at some points, but if you just wait, say, a day or 3, and then come back to it, you'll have a fresh perspective, and you'll be back at it again, having fun. But, as you can see in the footage right now, the Black Hand of Sauron is now executing Talion and his family for a ritual sacrifice for something you'll see a little later. And as you can probably tell, if you're a big Lord of the Rings fan like I am, they're speaking in Mordor Black speech, which I think is really cool, because they've actually gotten the right words to this. And I'm as I've said many times, I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. But as you can see right now, the blood sacrifice is finished, but it actually has gone wrong, and the Elf Lord, as the Black Hand calls him, has entered Talion instead of entering the Black Hand. Now, this is, as you'll later find in the story, the wraith that you see right next to Talion now is Celebrimbor, the greatest elven smith of the Second Age and creator of the 3 elven rings and the One Ring, which Sauron himself wears. But, yeah, so this actually takes place 50 or so years before. The sequel, Shadow of War, takes place about 20 years before, up till the destruction of the One Ring in the fires of Mount Doom. So, this game isn't really an integral part of the story, but if you want to get some background information, like, say, after you read The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, you read The Silmarillion, and you get the same thing, it's basically like this. Now, this game starts out really cool, and as you can see, there was just a really cool title card in there, and I wish there was some game audio I could play for you, but when recording, I made sure not to record my mic, but it didn't record any of the game audio like I thought it would. So, I'm sorry about that. I would give you game audio, but I really do not want to go back and record this. It took me about 40 minutes to get this. Probably, recording the footage and editing, so it's a long process. It's a long process. But now you get a bow tutorial, which a bow is one of the weapons that you get when, really one of the weapons Celebrimbor gives you. Now, I played this game on PC, And the PC version runs like butter. It is so good, and I just love it. This game, again, like I've said, I played for over 110 hours. It's just that fun. Now, this game was actually the first to implicate a mechanic called the Nemesis system. Now, this Nemesis system takes a bunch of random Uruk captains, throws them out into the world, and you can find special intel orcs, like the one right here, who, in this cutscene, will give me information about Gimub the Slaver. Now, you can find special intel dudes that will give you intel on every captain. But you can also interrogate the lesser orcs who don't have a green icon, which indicates that he has intel. And you can just get the basic information, like where they are, who they are, and that's pretty much it. What their motives are and stuff like that. But with special intel guys, you get the weaknesses, the strengths, and the hates or fears that each captain has. Now, this game does a lot with this Nemesis system. It throws out a bunch of orcs for you to track down and kill, but it also poses a challenge to you, the player. Now, this challenge is coming up with a plan for each individual captain and executing that plan to the fullest extent. Because, like, with Gimub the Slaver here, you don't really get his weaknesses or strengths at all. But with others, say, there's one I have in my original playthrough called Ushbaka the Painted, whose weaknesses are now seen because I have branded him, which is something you get later in the game, which allows you to turn orcs to your side. Now, this game implicates the Nemesis system very well, and I love how this game works. It's just so good, and traversal is like straight out of my Assassin's Creed review, you know? Traveling around this world is a complete joy. There's literally 2 regions that you can go to. The region of Nirn and the region of Udun, which you start in. You start in Udun. And you go through there, gaining more and more abilities until you're literally unstoppable. So, yeah, there's so much you can do with this game, including all of the runes to collect and all of the achievements. This is actually the first game I have 100%ed out of all the games I've played, which is at least 60 games. It's the only game I've 100%ed willingly and not out of stuff, you know, I needed to do. But I literally just did it for fun. But, yeah, that's my review for this game. And all around, I give it a 10 out of 10. It's very good. Very good systems implicated. I really have no gripes about it, except for the skill tree is a little clunky and hard to navigate. But otherwise, very good. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I hope you pick up Shadow of Mordor and play it for yourself, because it's a really good game. Enjoy the footage, and bye.